Hi everybody and welcome to a new lesson on English Online. Today's lesson is going to be a communication lesson on how to make a request and how to respond to requests. Alright, so let's move to the board and see what a request is. Simply speaking, a request is asking someone to do something for you politely. Alright, so you need a favor, you need something from someone, you have a need. Alright, what you do is make a request, right? Go to someone and ask them to do something for you because you need it. Alright, it's as simple as that. And now we're going to look at two conversations and try to see how the people in these conversations asked or made a request. And we'll also see how the other person responded in terms of accepting or refusing the request. Alright, let's move to the first conversation. The first conversation, as you can see, is between a manager and an employee in a firm, for example, or in a company. All right, it's a professional context, as you can see. The manager will say, "John, would you come to my office, please? John, would you come to my office, please?" All right, and the employee would respond in the following way: "Sure, I will be there in a minute. Sure, I will be there in a minute. Give me 1 minute to be there." Right? So, how did the manager ask the employee to come to his office? Well, he used the expression, "Would you?" Right? Please. Would you please? Would you please come to my office? Right? And the employee said, "Sure." So, do you think that the employee accepted or refused the request? His manager's request, of course. Well, he accepted, right? There's a check here, so yeah, I can do it again. He accepted the request. Okay, the second conversation is between an old person, an elderly person, and a boy. Okay, so here, the elderly person is feeling cold, and thus he's asking the boy to close a window in a, for example, a waiting room somewhere, or just in the house, or right? So it's cold in here. Would you mind closing that window, please? It's cold in here. Would you mind closing that window, please? Would you mind closing the window, please? The boy will say, "Certainly not, sir. Certainly not, sir." Well, we have "sir" here, so we deduce that the boy does not know the person. So it might be in a public place, but that's not our topic now. So how did the old person ask the boy to close the window? How did he make his request? Or what did he use to ask or to make a request? It's called in here, "Would you?" Okay, so there is a full stop here. "Would you mind closing, would you mind closing that window, please?" And the boy said, "Certainly not." Do you think that the boy accepted or refused the old person's request? He accepted. You would ask why. I tell you that this expression here is an exception because it means, is it a problem if? All right, always keep this in your mind. If you ask someone, "Would you mind doing something for me?" It is as if you're saying, is it a problem for you to do something for me? So if the other person says yes, it means that it's a problem for them to do something for you. And thus, they're refusing or rejecting or turning down your request. But if they say no, or certainly not, or of course, then they're accepting your request and they will do what you need. Okay? Now let's move to the table here and see some of the expressions that we can use to make a request and how we can accept a request or how we can turn down or refuse a request. The first expression we have here is "would you please?" And it's always followed by an infinitive, a bare infinitive. What a bare infinitive is a verb, not conjugated, of course, but without to. There is no to. Okay? So, for example, "Would you help me, please?" Would you help me, please? For example, you're carrying something heavy and you need some help, and your brother is around you, so you could say, "Would you help me carry these bags, please? Would you help me carry these bags, please?" The second expression is, "Would you mind?" Of course, the one we just saw. "Would you mind helping me, please? Would you mind helping me, please? Would you mind teaching me how to speak English? Would you mind teaching?" It's a gerund. It's followed by a gerund, please. And as I said before, if you accept, you say, certainly not, or of course not. It means that you are willing to help. But if you say yes, of course, or yes, or it means that you're turning down the request and you're not going to help them. Do you mind is the same as would you mind doing. Do you mind teaching me? Do you mind coming with me? Do you mind helping me? So if you want to accept this request, you could say certainly not. Not of course, or it's not a problem, okay? But if you say yes, then you have to justify why you are refusing the request. The third expression is can I plus infinitive. Can I help you? Can I come with you? Can I give you something? For example, you are requesting the other person to do something or to tell you if they need something. That's a request too. The other expression we have here is could you plus infinitive. Could you is more polite than can you or can I. So could you help me please? Could you teach me how to speak English? Could you come with me? Okay, it's an infinitive, a bare infinitive without to. Do you think you could plus infinitive? Do you think you could help me speak English? Do you think you could help me solve this exercise? Do you think you could come with me to the party? That's a request. I wonder if you could plus infinitive. I'm wondering, I wonder if you could help me. I wonder if you could lend me some money. I wonder if you could lend me some money. I would be grateful if you could or would. I would be so grateful to you if you could lend me some money. I am in need for some money. I would be grateful if you could help me or lend me some. Okay? Now, when you accept the request, you certainly say, yes, of course. It means that you're accepting the other person's request and that you're going to do what they need. Certainly, no problem. Yes, sure. Would you help me speak English? Would you help me learn English? Yes, sure, I can do that. Sure, no problem. Yes, that's fine. That's fine by me. I can do that for you. With pleasure, with great pleasure, or it's my pleasure to do this for you, right? Now, if you turn down or refuse the other person's request, you simply say, certainly not. I don't have time, or you justify it whatever way you have, or with whatever excuse you have. No, I'm afraid I can't. No, I am afraid I can't. I can't help you with that. No, I'm sorry. Do you mind helping me? Could you help me with my math exercise? No, I'm sorry, I don't have time, or I'm running low on time. Sorry, I can't. You're just refusing to do what the other person is requesting, and that's your right, of course, right? So let's move to a little practice before we end this lesson. Ask your friend to lend you some money. For example, your car broke down, or maybe you need to buy something, or you need to buy a birthday gift to your friend, but you don't have any money. So what you're going to do is that you're going to ask your wealthy friend to lend you some money, and you're going to use some of what I just taught you. So what would you say in this case? Let's use the expressions that we have the problem with, which we answer in a different way or in the opposite way. Let's pick do you mind, all right? So, because it's money and you need to be very polite to get it. That's why you're going to use this one. Do you mind helping me, lending me? Do you mind lending me some money? Please, of course. We don't have space, but you could say please. A please would be very good in this situation, or would be very useful. Do you mind lending me some money? Please. And your friend will, of course, accept. Do you mind lending me? He will say certainly not. And this is not refusing. Again, this is not refusing. This is accepting. Or he will say yes, of course. If he says yes, of course, then he's turning down your request. So he needs to refuse implicitly, but that's accepting in this case. So he's going to say, certainly not. Certainly not. Certainly, sorry, one L. Certainly not. Here's a check. Okay, certainly not. Here's a check. Here you go. You can take the money, right? Thank you guys for your attention. I hope you liked this lesson. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel and maybe share the video with your friends. And see you next time in another video. Take care.